Hey everyone, Bitcoin is up $5,000 per coin today to $87,000 per coin. Last night when I did the live feed event, we were sitting at just above 82,000 per coin, and now we are above $87,000 per coin. So we're up $5,000 per coin. So where do we go from here? Or where does Bitcoin go from here? The answer is I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. All we know is that Bitcoin has absolute perfect monetary properties. It is more divisible, more durable, more portable, more authenticatable, more verifiable, and more scarce than anything else in the universe. That is what we know. What we also know is that humans need money. We need to use some type of money to transact, to store our time and energy for the future when we may need it for something, to store up our labor that we've expended so that we can buy something later to feed ourselves or our families or whatever it is. So humans need money. Bitcoin is superior money. The vast majority of humans own zero Bitcoin, and the vast majority of humans who have any Bitcoin have a very tiny amount. So what we know for sure is over time, a lot more people will adopt Bitcoin and that they will adopt Bitcoin in much larger increments as a percentage of their net worth than they do today. Okay. So when the price goes up from 82,000 to 87,000, what do we know took place today? Well, what we know for absolute certainty is that the marketplace ran out of people that were willing to sell their Bitcoin at $82,000 per coin. Now, how do we know that? Well, we know that with absolute certainty because the Bitcoin market is completely fluid. There's tens of billions, as much as $100 billion of Bitcoin traded between parties. On any given day these days. And so if there was any Bitcoin available worldwide at $82,000 per coin, the price of Bitcoin would not have risen because people want to buy it and people stop being willing to sell their Bitcoin for $82,000 today. They also stopped being willing to sell it for 83,000, 84,000, 85,000, 86,000, and $87,000 today. The only reason we can possibly be sitting at $87,300 per coin right now is because nobody on the planet is willing to sell it for less than that right now. Because if someone went in right now and said, I'll sell some Bitcoin for $85,000, boom, it would immediately sell and it wouldn't have virtually any impact on the price unless you were selling like billions of dollars of it. So anytime the price rises or falls, you know that you ran out of people either willing to buy at a certain level or willing to sell at a certain level. So if we wake up tomorrow and the price has retreated from $87,000 down to, let's call it $86,000, what that means is we ran out of people temporarily that were willing to spend $87,000 per coin, or that people willing to sell it for 86 stepped up. And maybe there's people still willing to pay 87, but they don't have to because there's people available and willing to sell Bitcoin at $86,000 per coin. So that is a completely fluid, completely liquid, almost completely perfectly liquid market worldwide. It is the only asset in the world that you can buy and sell in any country, in any currency, anywhere in the world. The rich, the poor, the middle class, everybody can buy or sell one penny, $1, or whatever they can afford of Bitcoin at any time, day or night, 24/7. One second. So, what does the rest of this year hold for Bitcoin? The answer is I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. I just listened. One of my favorite podcasts is Jack Mallers, Mallers, Jack Mallers, or Mallers, I guess, depending on how you say it. Um, Jack Mallers, I guess it's an A, so Mallers. Jack Mallers, his Money Matters podcast, he's the CEO of Strike, Strike. And I always listen to his podcast episodes within 24 hours of when they come out. He records them Monday evenings, and so I usually listen to them either that evening or the next morning. But he is still predicting a Bitcoin price between $250,000 and $500,000 this year. He constantly says that markets like we have right now will scare you out or wear you out. I think that's his terminology. Scare you out, wear you out. And that's what this market does. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. Scares you out or wears you out. And then finally, when everybody's been scared out and weared out or worn out, then the price starts going up. So he says this market reminds him a lot of 2017. And in 2017, the price was $2,500 in June before hitting above $19,000 by November of that year. So you can go for long periods where it scared you out, wears you out, until suddenly you run out of willing sellers in the 80s and then in the 90s and then in the hundreds. And he's still predicting that we will set a new all-time high in somewhere in the April or May time frame. And again, he's been around Bitcoin for 12 years now, so he's seen quite a few cycles, more than me, since I've only been around Bitcoin about 8 years. So he saw the entire 2017 cycle, whereas I joined the Bitcoin train right on the very tail end of 2017 and 2018. When I bought my first Bitcoin, which was late 2017 and early 2018. So he experienced that huge run up in 2017, and I did not, because I bought my first Bitcoin later in 2017. So anyway, all that to say, nobody knows what the future holds. I just believe long term, in the next 5 to 10 years, Bitcoin will surpass the price of gold. All of the gold in the world is worth $20 trillion right now. All of the Bitcoin in the world is only worth $1.7 trillion. So you've got whatever that is, 12x your money, just to reach parity with gold. And having owned gold in the past, and I still have a small amount of gold, having comparing gold and Bitcoin is radically superior to gold. So I consider it an almost certainty that Bitcoin will go up to $1 million per coin, which is roughly parity with the price of gold. That to me is an almost certainty. Beyond $1 million per coin, I think Bitcoin is much better than gold. But the question is, how much better? Is it twice as good as gold? Is it 5 times as good as gold? Is it 10 times as good as gold? We don't know. Only supply and demand in the marketplace will tell. But I think the value of Bitcoin is significantly higher than the value of gold, given how much better Bitcoin serves as money than gold. Gold really can't serve as money in a modern digital economy, and Bitcoin can, and it was intended for that purpose. So as a result, one second here. Well, hold on. There is traffic here. I have no idea what's going on here. All right, I better go tend to this traffic. But short take is, I think there's a great year ahead for Bitcoin. I think now is a fantastic time to buy Bitcoin. It strikes me as very much very much on sale right now. Sorry, there's bad traffic. Better go tend to this. Have a great day, everyone. Great time to buy Bitcoin. Buy as much as you can. Hold on to it as long as conceivably possible. Not financial advice, just what I think is the best thing to do. Have a great day. Thanks.